All right. Okay, well, I'm live. If you are hearing me, let me know if you are hearing me loud and clear. If you are hearing me, let me know if you hear me loud and clear. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to the Fearless Warrior Show. Let me just take this thing off my neck. I don't want a knee on my neck. Just when you come in, let me know if you see me. Good evening, the Slimmy Show. Yes, let's let people know that I am live, and we want to talk something tonight because I had to get it off my chest. I had to get it off my chest. So, are you hear me loud and clear? For those who are on Facebook, let me just know if you all seen it on Facebook. Um, so, let me just know if you all see me. And Slimmy, don't worry yourself. We'll do a show eventually, man. We'll do a show eventually. And yeah, so let me tell you. Let me get down to it. It's a sad day today. Boy, yeah. Well, I'm gonna get all of that. I'm gonna get all of that. I'm going to get to all of that. Trust me. I just want to know if people see me on Facebook. If you see me on Facebook, let me know. Let me just see if I can do something here and see if you all see me on Facebook. Let me just make sure that you all see me on Facebook, and let me just make sure here. Oh, so you only see me on, all right. So you see me on Facebook and you see me on YouTube. All right. Okay. So you ready to go? Well, I was listening to one of my members in Issues in TNT, and she made a very good point. When you are asking a question in the parliament, you must submit this question 1 hour before the actual sitting of the parliament. Kamala Prasad, the successor, is trying to tell the nation that she apparently did not see what was on this order paper before she came to parliament. So when the question was asked to her, are you aware of what is this happening in the country? Kamala's response would have been, I don't know anything about that, and keep calm, and etc. bullshit. The military got their instructions today. All military personnel got the instructions today on what they have to do and what they do have to do. All active, all non-active, retirees, you name it. Every single military personnel was given instructions today on what they are to do and what they are not to do. And all of them had to report for duty at 1800 hours. Now, for those people who don't know what's 1800 hours, that's military time, and that will be 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening. So you had to do all we are doing. If you had to go to Go Street, do everything we had to do. Buy up your food, do everything you had to do. By 6 o'clock in the evening, 6 p.m. in the evening, you are to be on base. And all military personnel were told to be on base. All special reserve FT constables were also given instructions to not to take leave. Some people trying to cover it up and say, well, the Christmas season coming, so they have there's a mandatory thing. But we under and this SOE going until January, just before Carnival, because Carnival so the second week in February. So we're going straight to Carnival, into the Carnival season with an SOE in 2026. But not just with an SOE in 2026, but when we hear the of the Army of the United States of America saying they're looking to attack targets in Venezuela between today and tomorrow, which is the first. Apparently, the Trinidad and Tobago government don't know what people are talking about. We didn't say it. The President of the United States of America said, a man who is on conviction and who is going before the courts could also, well, boy, I don't hide all these days. You can't stop that is thy nature. Let the frogs and them things, because trust me. You know why? I'll get back to why I had to hide all these days. When you hear the President of the United States is saying to the world, he's going to attack targets within Venezuela, the military bases in Venezuela, it is worrisome. And therefore, when he said that, and in less than 24 hours after, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the government, the government of Trinidad and Tobago literally told all the regimental officers to be on high alert. So the country is now on high alert. High alert, this country is on. And whole day, the central bank send home people, ministry send home people, schools being emptied in Trinidad and Tobago. Town in a mess. Town in a mess. Port of Spain in a mess. And Kamala walked to the parliament like it's nobody's business and talk a set of shit as though she didn't know what was going on. Alexander came and lied. Roger Alexander came and lied to this nation and said that he'd have a protest taking place in Woodford Square. So where was he when it had the budget presentation going on? Where was he when the budget presentation going on, beating iron and pan in the square? These fellas must stop lying to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Because when Wayne Sturge could stand in the parliament to answer the question, he come up with the G. He come up with G and say he can't talk. He can't talk. And Philip Alexander he tried to put him on the spot. And still yet he couldn't talk. But they know something is wrong in this country. They know that something is definitely wrong in this country on what it is happening in this country when it comes to either people trying to undermine and cause some kind of thing in the country, or the Ministry of National Security get tip off, prepare yourself for anything that is going to be coming. Prepare yourself for anything that is going to be coming your way. Because what Kamala Prasad Bissessa has done to us in this country, what Kamala Bissessa has done to us in this country, she has really put the country on high alert, and they must talk the truth. Because when you can go and tell them, bomb them violently, you notice Maduro ain't singing that song. Maduro ain't saying, well, stop doing this, stop doing that. Because provocation is against the law. And every day they keep provoking this man, they're provoking the man, they're provoking the man. It's because they want the man to attack. And when the man in attack, they get angry. They get vexed because they don't know how to invade, to take the man's natural mineral, to prevent China and Russia from coming in the backyard, which is only a few miles away from America. They don't know how to do it. So they're provoking the bomb. 14 boats. Kamala Prasad Bissessa is responsible for 14 boats being bombed in the waters in our Caribbean and in Trinidad and Tobago waters. 14 boats. And she is behaving as though I didn't do nothing wrong. Me ain't do nothing. Well, Olbat, you are responsible also because you told the American government to bomb them violently. Bomb them. Don't care. Don't intercept them. Don't do them nothing. Just bomb them. That is what she on. Just bomb them. Just bomb them. That is all she on. She don't give a damn. She don't give a damn. She don't care about the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. She already built she bunker in advance. She don't care whether if it have militias group operating in Trinidad and Tobago to attack the citizens, to set up little bombs on the ground. She don't care about that. She don't care about that. All Kamala Prasad Bissessa is caring about is how much money she could continue to make as a salary and don't give a rat's ass about the people. Not even she own supporters. She give a rat's ass about, and they too are frightened just like anybody else. This is not a PNM and a UNC thing. This is about a country that you have taken down a road on the path of destruction. But there's dirty ways you're carrying on in the public domain with, and you don't give a damn. Because when them old bats and them don't drink the alcohol, smoke the old weed, and they rock back, they could give a fuck about what's going on in the place. And that is what Kamala Prasad Bissessa is doing to this country. She feels it from shopping. She feels it because that's how some of them in parliament. on the government benches operating as a rum shop talk inside of there. That they get up and when the opposition asks that question, we ask me that for me rather answer you and they done. This jackassness that they stop is people life, is people children. Imagine I had to call my daughter today and call my children today and tell them that here what happening. Hey, if you're going out, try to avoid being in public places where you have too much a crowd. Don't go in too much a crowd. Because what they did in Guyana, it was 3 times the federal bombs in Guyana. And there's a likelihood that it may happen in Trinidad and Tobago too. But they're not telling away the truth. And it is only now you're starting to see your conventional media asking real questions in real time. And that is what they can't handle. The government is under pressure from the medias, from local, regional, and international for the blasted shit that they're doing. And we have to sit down and stomach that from a jackass prime minister called Kamala Persad. We had to stomach that, the lies and deceit from this woman. And it is time that Kamala Persad bring the bill that she always wanted to bring, the referendum bill. Bring it to the parliament, man. Bring the bill to the parliament. Let the people really have a stake in this country when it comes to getting rid of politicians who want to cause destruction on the people and on the nation as a whole. So we could call for a referendum. We could get rid of Kamala because the people right now don't want Kamala Persad there. They don't want her there. She's a threat to herself and to the nation. And there are many people who don't want to tell she, but I go tell she it. But you know what? The first thing they will say, well, hey, you ain't looking like them, You do have the straight hair. It's in line down. So you can't tell she nothing. But she own supporters telling she, hey, you're making wrong decisions. And if Kamala Persad could watch people in the face, knowing that government ministries sending home workers, evacuating workers out of Port of Spain, eh? People were literally coming and taking the children out of schools throughout the whole country. The groceries packed, not because it's mountain, it's because they realize that, hey, let me prepare myself. Not true, not Richard, don't get up with that. There's a number of people who not supporting she, they're not even saying nothing. They're not saying nothing. Because they realize that, hey, you're back in a corner here. You're back we into a corner where we realize there might be, hey, you ain't looking like the right person to lead this thing. That is why when they see Penelope Beckers, who was a that came to the forefront and was invited, and she went and meet with another diplomat so that they could sit down and have cordial talks and discuss a way of peace. They run out and they start to talk about the woman meeting with people who are under sanction. So Kamala Persad didn't do that when she went and when they went and meet with when she went and meet with the same ambassador. Eh? She didn't do that. They didn't do that. And now we have to suffer the consequences of having an old bat as the prime minister of this country. Yeah, well, it's the Venezuelan diplomat they're talking about. Is who met with Penelope Beckers, the opposition leader. But when Sobas and them went and meet with the Venezuelan diplomat, it wasn't a problem because they realized diplomacy happens in all different ways. And that's why I keep telling people, you don't need to jump up and rah, 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 rah. You do things professionally, but them don't know that. The UNC don't know that. All the UNC knows is to talk shit, do a set of photo ops, media hype. Who can like more media and photos than the UNC? Who can like them thing more than the UNC and don't have a clue on how to run this country and run this country progressively and with good standards? Who can say that? But right now, and let me tell you something, eh? What Miss Penny did was a master stroke in bringing some level of common sense and calmness to this whole thing. And they couldn't understand that. Many people can't understand that because you know why? They were planning to jump up the place. They were planning to cuss down the place. They were planning to and shout down at you. Diplomats don't operate so. And from one diplomat to another diplomat, she handled it well. She handled it well. And nobody could fault her for that. Nobody could fault her for that. Because if you're talking to a warmongering government like the UNC, then you have to look at the opposition to get some form of sanity. And that is what Ms. Penelope Beckers brought to the table, a level of sanity in this country. And that is what they cannot handle. That is what they cannot handle. A level of sanity that was brought to this whole game that Kamala Prasad are playing with Trump and Trump playing with Kamala and Kamala playing with Trump and they only play with 30 million plus 1.5 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. When we talk about leaders, when we talk about leaders, a leader knows when to keep quiet, when to come forward, and when to act. Because in the interest of what is happening, don't feel if something happened trying to be Miss Penelope Beckers and the PNM and all the MPs and all the people who supported she too, wouldn't be affected by the shit that Kamala Prasad Big Sister doing, because we have to live here. We have to live here. And that is what Kamala Prasad Big Sister don't understand. Why she tell people, well, build bunkers, and she tell me in advance to build bunkers. How much have we had in money to build bunkers when something happened that we could go underground and hide? I am frightened for my children. Not for me, because if I had to pick up the arms and defend Trinidad and Tobago, I will have to do it. I will have to do it as a citizen of this country. I will have to defend my run and hide on any no damn bed. But I have to defend my country because my children live in here. And I have to protect my children at all costs. Because that is my future. I don't know for you and no Caribbean soul. I don't know for many other people, but I know plenty people want to see their children grow up, become successful, make children so that they can have little grandchildren. I don't know for you, Caribbean soul. But this is not about me, and I keep telling you that. This is not about we who have already lived. Because from the time you make children, you no longer live for yourself, you live for the people, the children. You're the Kamala auntie. But if I tell you, foolishness is a hell of a thing. Foolishness is a hell of a thing. But nevertheless, when you sit on me, it's not Maduro I tell you how to do something. It's like a gangster. Think about it. Let me break it down for you, illiterates, Caribbean soul, and the UNC people. Let me break it down for you. If it is a gangster come out on the road, he come out on the road, he's the gang leader. Boy, you know that man come around me this morning, boy, which is the other group, eh? So he telling the story of a man who tried to come around him, or come around his woman, or try to do one of his men and them something. You understand? One of his men, he want to tell his men to go and do something to them people and them who try to come around his leader. He will protect his leader at all costs. He will try to protect his leader at all costs. So you know what he will eventually do? A man will just give up. He tell the leader he will not act on his behalf. He just give up. Pick up the weapon. Pick up the weapon and he go on down the road. Because you know why? Subliminally, the message was sent. Don't come wrong the leader. Don't come wrong my leader. Don't go wrong my leader woman. Don't take my leader thing and don't pay for it. And he going to act on behalf of the leader. And he might end up doing somebody something. Or he might end up seeing a horse in a people lining. And the one man who he come for, he might take down the whole 4, 5 of them in one shot to send a message to the other group. Don't come wrong my leader. And that is how Venezuela has now put it in the public domain. Venezuela, by putting persona non grata on Kamala Prasad Bissesa head, it's not only Kamala Prasad Bissesa, they put that persona non grata is on the country of Trinidad and Tobago because she is the prime minister of this country. And that is why Caribbean Soul, the Miss Penelope Beckers had to step in to let them know that it's not only UNC people doing down the road with that shit, but the PNM people don't want no war. We want peace. And that is why Nicolas Maduro and the Venezuelan government could talk to the PNM. But they can't talk to an old bat who went senile and dotish. And like she's suffering from what is called it, dementia. One minute she say one thing she remember, next minute she forget what she saying and she gone again. That is what Penelope Beckers brought to the table. And that's what plenty of them in the UNC, it hot in them. It hot in them that Penelope Beckers was more diplomatic and she will always be a diplomat to defend Trinidad and Tobago and to defend the people. Yes, Kamala is a traitor, yes, because John was sober. Sober. The Venezuelan government don't want to have nothing to do with them dummies in the UNC. They don't want to have nothing to do with them. And that's why Nicolas Maduro keep coming out and keep saying, I don't want no war. Because he being the bigger man to tell America and to tell Trinidad government who keep pushing the agenda of war and war and war. We don't want no war. We don't want that in the Caribbean. We was never of that. We have always been a Caribbean of peace. But this woman, I don't know nothing about that. And she playing the lying, deceitful games. It's time for the games to stop, Kamala. It's time for the games to stop. You have lied in the budget. Your whole government lied in the budget. They lied about the 10% for workers in this country. They're lying about every single thing. And I told you from the beginning, they came in with a lie. They came in when they stole the elections in 2025. And I don't care what nobody say, I will tell you straight up. They stole everything. They lied to the people. They take the American people money. They fixed the election and they won. And now that they get in, now that they get in, they feel that they can do what they want, say what they want, and destroy this country. That is what they feel they can do. And that is what they don't understand. That is what they don't understand. I don't know where them this come with him. I don't know where them this come with me. I responded to Caribbean soul, but don't come here with no asshole shit. Don't come here with no asshole shit. Because Kamala Prasad Bissessa or your leader, or your old bad leader, or your witch leader is the one who telling the Caribbean that we will have to start looking at other policies. So she going on with the Caribbean policy, she going on with other policies that she want to look at with other partners outside of the Caribbean. So when she do that, she don't think it have consequences too. And even if she want to break allegiance with SOFA, there's other people that she could align herself to. America is not the only one, but America is afraid that many of the Caribbean islands, as well as South America, Central America, Europe, Africa, all of them start to align themselves with Russia, China, and all the rest of partners called BRIC. And that is what America free. That BRIC coming into the Caribbean. So they want to destabilize the Caribbean by going to feel that they can mash up Venezuela. And that is why Nicolas Maduro is asking and calling on even them. And people will say, oh, look, he begging. But he's not begging, he's being a big man and he's coming out because let me tell you something with them Venezuelans and them. As much as Nicolas Maduro might be nice, don't get tired, you know. We might not be able to fly based on what Kamala Prasad Bissessa has done, mash up our relationship with Latin America and even with the Caribbean, mash up our relationship for a few pennies just to remain as Prime Minister of this country. That is what Kamala Prasad Bissessa has done. Sold this nation, sold the soul of the nation for a few dollars. Because who she went and trade with? Who she went and trade with? What we have here that the rest of the world wants. What we have here, she had a thing. Because the Caribbean has over you leaving out billions of dollars to go after 4 billion US dollars. The Caribbean, anywhere you go in the Caribbean, anywhere you go in the Caribbean, you see in Trinidad products, Jamaica, well, don't Jamaica. It's only Trinidad products on the shelf basically. Other than Grace Kennedy and well, them is from Jamaica and a few other things. But a lot of our product sales are being sold in the Caribbean. You know how long it takes for FMJ leaves to get into America market? I can remember when I was young, much younger when I was basically going to school, when they get the license rate in America and they tell them you see that kind of soft drink where you give in Trinidad, we don't drink that in America. It's a different type of soft drink and they're making two sets of soft drink, one for America. And that's how they start to expand. That is how massively expanding. That is how everybody going to expand. The banking sector going to expand. But when you want to cause problems, you have to remember investors just watch these things. And investors don't want to invest in a country that promoting war. or even having this warmongering thing going on. Caribbean soul, don't let me block your tail tonight. But the damn foolishness you're talking about. Well, I tell you know why it is for you to be going? Because I love Jamaica. I went to Jamaica and Jamaicans treated me real nice. They treated me real nice. In fact, that was one of the first islands I touched down as a black person. And I'm being real with you. As a black person, I wasn't white. My hair wasn't long and blonde. But as a black man, I touched down in Jamaica. And it was only pleasant. Only pleasantries I get. Oh, I say, well, nah, nah. Look how they treat me like a first class citizen. They didn't treat me like, no tricky guardian. They say, hey, good morning, how you going? The police and all. Everybody treated like right up as a tourist, as what they're supposed to be doing. But Kamala here don't treat people nice in this country. Kamala and this UNC, what? Some coalition of interests on just a pack of shit. So when you leave here as a Trinidadian and you go out there, you have to be now, oh God, look Trini, look at Trinidadian coming. Oh God, them full of tricks. Who them? Like Kamala people and all them kind of shit you want to be hearing now in your head. They might be wanting the country. They might be wanting the country because they know any way they see Kamala is like they see destruction. And to be branded as that as a Trinidadian, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want, when I go out there, people must look at me and say, yes, he's bringing money to this country. He's a tourist. We have to respect our tourists, not treat me as though, but me care about them now. And that's how Kamala Person is treating the citizens and even the tourists and even the Venezuelans who live in here in Trinidad and Tobago. And here it is. Today was high alert season time. High alert season time was today. And Kamala Prasad Bisesa and them jackasses who say no inside a day on the benches. Who can't answer the ass from the elbow. Didn't have a clue or playing like they don't have a clue on what going on in this country. When they know damn well they send out an order bringing all these soldiers. Well, the regiment people, the toy soldiers, bringing them toy soldiers. All SRBs, estate constables, whether in private security or wherever, bring them in. because they know something will not take place. They know something was going to take place. Imagine you have military men going in the schools, taking all the children out of the schools. Eh? Police officers going to take the children out of the schools. Ministry shutting down. And all you hearing is that stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. You telling me 1990, Caribbean Soul Supply, these people came down here. Don't say Venezuela do it. It's Trinidad. It was done on when they block out. That the same night when my whole life shut down. That was the same night. One night in my life about Wednesday. It was Wednesday or Tuesday. I had to know. Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday when I did my life this week, and my life shut down just so is because there was a jammer taking place, and I being so close to the sea Wednesday. I was close to the sea. I was by the sea, and I felt I get block out, bam! I couldn't do no live. I get blocked. My phone just got go malfunction. It wasn't even reading the same. You telling me I talking to people and they just cutting off. Just so I literally had to move and go further inland. What you telling me about? It's take I had to take off because eventually I couldn't make no phone call whole night till the next morning. I couldn't make a phone call until the next morning. I take all my SIM card, I put it back in. I take all my SIM card, I put it back in. It still wasn't reading it. Whatever they did, I could not communicate with nobody for over what 15 hours. So don't tell me. And jammers, it wasn't just jammers. That literally threw off my SIM card with my data on it. So I couldn't even broadcast. So when they wanted to set up the thing in Grenada, just be mindful. When they set up the thing in Grenada, and that satellite shutting down people's phones. Just think about it. Just think about it. This country in a lot of shit because what went on in Guyana with that bombing, you notice you hardly hear nothing in the news on what happening with them people in Guyana. Yeah, it happened all along the west too, or along the shoreline coming in. Certain parts was getting it. But I am telling you see that terrorist attack, three terrorist attacks happened in Guyana, and people still believing that these things can happen in Trinidad. And it was Venezuelans nationals who carried out these attacks. Because it was the same Venezuela and Trinidad was pushing things with Venezuela. But Guyana backed down and take a little slow roll, but they're still feeling the effect. But you know, stupid Kamala playing fast, jumping in people's business without any thing. Nobody invites you to the party, but she's springing she flat ass all over the place. Because she had to fling it, fling it, fling it. Well, just imagine. Just imagine. Well, they look just like Venice. And if they, that telling you the cartel is moving a kind of way. Because when they show the man picture, and it was two of them, one on a bike, but we have to prepare ourselves for this war that Kamala Prasad successor. Because she done for an economic war against Venezuela because we can't get no gas and oil. Don't look out for nothing from that. She can't go and drill properly because we don't own 80% of it. So we under some different type of pressure. Look, I able to have with the show. But on a serious note, 1990 would have taught us certain things. 1990 is being played out all over again in a technical way. Because when the government was hearing all the bacchanal, they keep turning a blind eye, lying to the people, lying to the people, lying to the people. And when it happened in 1990, when it happened in 1990, and we had the 5 day coup, that people lost their life in Trinidad and Tobago. The city was burning. Are we going to wait to hear more lies and more lies from a government that knows the truth but don't want to tell the people, don't want to tell the people what is really happening and what's going on? If we're talking about democracy, if we're talking about democracy and we're talking about talking to the people and having conversation with the people, we will tell the people the truth. We will not hide the truth from the people because we're talking about democracy. Because when we talk about socialism and we talk about capitalism and we talk about all these different things, and these people is tell the people the truth. But for some strange reason, Kamala Persad and this government that is currently sitting down there in the parliament who is clueless, don't know what is the truth. They never know what is the truth. They continue to spread the lies and never about the truth. But history have a weird way, I keep telling you, of repeating itself over and over and over. And if you didn't learn from 1990, if you didn't learn from 1970, then I don't think that they will learn at any point in time. No, them can't save. Them can't save. Because you hear mercenaries in Venezuela. You know it's mercenaries. This is what, yeah. And it's not we bringing these kind of news, you know. This is the international news. As we just quote unquote say, reputable agencies bringing the news to them lying to people who living in Venezuela, who sending the reports to Trinidad, them lying to. So everybody lying. But Kamala Prasad Bisesa and this this people partnership who masking as the people's what? Coalition of interest are the only ones that telling the lies like a truth. So we have 3 more months, 3 more months to take up this gangster, dictator, wicked, deceitful, backstabbing government. Well, apparently the international media must be PNN people. Something wrong with you, yes, Caribbean soul. You come in and talking things we don't know. You talking things we don't know. Hmm. I would wonder one day, I would really like one day for the UNC supporters, which is in the minority at this point in time, they're not in majority, they're in the minority, to really open up their eyes and see where Kamala Prasad, the successor, is taking them. I would really like them to open up their eyes and stop with the foolishness of defending dotishness in this place. We have to really call on our government, our call on this old man, this old dictator, this old wicked regime called Kamala Prasad successor and the coalition of interests to just do the honorable thing and just go away now, please. Just go away. Don't bother to stay. Or you have all your properties wherever you want in America or wherever you have it, go away. We don't need oil here with our bacchanal. It's too much of we and our citizens in Trinidad and Tobago to take from a lying, thieving, taxing government called the United National Congress. It's too much. It's too much. Well, they're already done doing it already. No, they're gonna extend it for 3 months. So we had to take it as it come. We had to take it as it come. We have to stomach this bullshit. We have to stomach on that. And with the people who living right next door to us, 30 million, we had to be careful. We have to be careful. Pray to our God for divine intervention into this madness. Because let me tell you something. Trump is what you call a dangerous. Trump is what you call a dangerous Gemini. Now there are good Geminis and there are dark Geminis. Trump is one of them dangerous dark Geminis. And when you see Trump get up in the morning and Trump say he going to do X, Y, and Z, bet your bottom dollar. I can tell you because a Gemini do back down. And a Gemini, once he reach to the dark part of him, oh, they are so dangerous. You wouldn't believe how dangerous they could get. And Trump is one of them. Trump has his agenda to make his America great again by bullying the people of the Caribbean, bullying countries who want to join up with other people to remove that US dollar from being the quote unquote standard money of the world. And Trump is on a war path of destruction, especially when you're doing good in your own country. Well, Sunny, let me tell you something. It's not about astronomy always. It's about reality. And this man, he say he gonna do it. Bet your bottom dollar. Bet your bottom dollar. Yes, Venezuela have free education. Venezuela have, you know, but the amount of things that Venezuelans have, and I keep telling you, is because they thief Venezuela gold under the pretext that they want to hold it for Venezuela. They take the people gold, they go on with the people gold, and when the people ask them back for the gold, they want to give them back the gold. And that is what Venezuela is facing. Because people want to mash up Venezuela. Just how they want to get rid of Chile. Just how they want to get rid of half of the leaders who doing good and not doing what America want them to do. They will destroy them. And that's why they tell Kamala, take with this, take with that, destroy this, destroy that. And she's doing it because she do act on she own. Because she's a, you want to talk about weak? That is Kamala. She is weak. That is very well a weak leader. A warmonger. Because if she had a salute, and I'm glad Miss Lenny said it, blood money. She would rather you die and take that money. And then you hear all kind of corruption with the UNC and how much millions and millions and millions of dollars they stole from the coffers of the treasury. This is dangerous waters we chatting on. And if it start like this on a Friday evening, if it start like this on a Friday morning to Friday evening, where the country is in a state that everybody frightened, that people, children can go outside because afraid. People take the children, went home with them because they're afraid. People run to buy food because they don't know if tomorrow might be the last day because they're afraid. Because Kamala Prasad Bisasa is running this country and running this country to the ground. That people packing up the bags and running. So when all them businessmen run from this country because she only talking the war, bomb them violently, bomb them. Every time she says them thing and she promotes war, you have all the businessmen and them packing up the bags and leaving. And when they're leaving, thousands and thousands and thousands of workers will be on the breadline. Thousands and thousands of people will be on the breadline because our economy going down and it continues to go down because business people have lost confidence in a jackass government called Kamala Prasad Bisesa and she dirty UNC. A bunch of bandits and thieves, sex predators. Everybody just packing up and leaving because no money. The place get hard. She tightening the balls too much. Just now you can't make children because the balls can't produce the sperm to fertilize the eggs. Oh yes, and human trafficking. Don't talk for the drug trade. They're sitting down inside it. And that is what they run in this country on. Don't be surprised. When they finish kill this economy, when they finish kill this economy, we will really be only eating. Really be only eating, not the grass, you know. But we gotta make mud pies, and eat it. The way how this UNC government going down, taking this country down a road. Mud pies we gonna be making to eat just now. But I tell you straight up, when the time is right and I am called to defend my country against this wicked, oppressive government, I will defend my country at all costs. You telling me? I didn't want to talk about the house slaves and them, because them is house slaves. That is what Anna Roberts says, a house slave. That is what this fella, John Jeremy, all of them, because they don't see that Kamala and them don't want them, they don't really like them, they're just using them, carry out all their agenda. Every one of them are decided like old garbage. Wall Street, but if I tell you about Wall Street, I wouldn't even bother to even call him. The $92,000 man, Slimmy Show, the man who was arrested and charged for fraud, the Slimmy Show. Hey boy, why you really don't know that? Why you really don't know? And these fellas sitting on our state boards. And many of them will do that and continue to do that. Because you know why? It's all about the mighty dollar for some of them. Irvin Phillips at the party, a whole thief. Andy Williams, and next hungry eater food. I can tell you about all of them. They have no integrity. They have no integrity, and they're not honest, because all of them is about the little dollar, and they will sell out their own dollars, their own people, for this hungry money. They will sell out their own people for their hungry money. And they will join with same the old bat, the old witch, to ensure that the so-called government stay in power. But the time running out for this government, he ain't get nothing yet. He ain't get nothing from the government. The next two ain't get nothing either. None of them ain't get nothing yet. They only hopefully taking down names and telling people, hold on, hold on, hold on, like if they're singing the song. Nothing for them. But you take a man who was hauled before the court for fraud and put in on a state board. Nothing for them fellas. You know what again? Thank you for your services. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you just a little bit and I'll tell you about Wall Street. Let me tell you something about Wall Street. Wall Street was a man that was only about himself. Wall Street was a man that was only about himself. Wall Street said that he cared about the people of Chumaka, but never give them nothing really and truly in Chumaka. Never, never. He says he's a professor, but his wife is who minding him. And if your wife minding you, that should tell you about the man himself, who run one or two marathon but never come back to Trinidad to train no children. Nobody never run Wall Street from the PNM. Wall Street run himself from the PNM. Wall Street run himself from the PNM. Because all Wall Street wanted was a job, not to help the people in Parsley Street and Chumaka. It was all about getting a little job. And oh, he write the book and all that. Boy, let me tell you something. Wall Street tell him it's fraud and they must stop with the foolishness. And the only way people started to listen to Wall Street is because why? UNC people like to hear the lies and the deceit of Wall Street. And I can tell you, Andy Williams was a PNM supporter. Until he was doing in Bagatelle and they went and shoot up his place. And he went and stayed by Gladiator House. Because he used to live by Gladiator. Not me said, he said, because it's documented in government documents in the courthouse. I don't know what he was doing with the man, but he was living in the man's house. So when they want to talk, I can tell you about them Esther Chan. She wants to be up on the PNM ass. Take a she little latrine. Them all of them. Yeah, then when he come out, he talk Rowley was by he invite Rowley by his house. And one kind of do this. I can tell you about all of them. Mighty K said that a man asked him if he know about pillow biting. I have the document. I can show you the document. I can show you the document. Not me saying it, you know. It is a document in the court, you know, of Trinidad and Tobago. When I could hear a man saying, but who went and pick up little boys for a man? And who was picking up little whether the street, whether the thing, and these fellas sitting on radio talking and want to chastise but PNM and which are the Venezuelan embassy is many of them taking it. They're taking it, and that's what plenty them on. So that is why now that we find ourselves in this dilemma, now that we find ourselves in this dilemma because they ain't got nothing here. They're fighting against something. All them trying to defend Kamala and Sessa by telling you, don't read none of war coming. But I tell you, be alert, be alert, start planting your food. As what Val was saying is true. Because when we went into COVID, we was planting with food. Be alert. Try to avoid being in crowded areas. I'm telling you. Because these people and them taking up rage for other people. Be very careful. These fellas don't care. You attack their country and their fellow people in the country, they will attack you. And their attack is worse than what we think. I ain't able to hear that, Nicholas. So I say, let me come out tonight and talk about this war that is taking place and how this government is manipulative and they're lying, they're taxing you, and they don't have a clue on how to govern. It's continuously keep taking us down a road on a path of destruction that we had to say, God help us. But I want to say thanks to the opposition leader who had the courage and the testicular fortitude to sit down and have a conversation with the Venezuelans ambassador and hopefully to go back to the United Nations and even to send a message off to Donald Trump, take it down. We don't want that in the Caribbean because we supposed to be the leaders in this region. But they could do what they want. They could say what they want. When we see Penelope Beckles rising out of the ashes and taking her final place as the Prime Minister of this country, because the UNC will not last. They're going to fall down. The government is going to fall, Bet your bottom dollar. Some of them who, when I defect from the UNC, when I run to the PNM and beg Penny, save we, be willing to work with you. So people, join me this Sunday with Melba. Join me this Sunday with Melba, and we have an interesting show for you all on Sunday. And as I told you all, look out for the official launch because you'll see something totally different. You'll start to see more videos, you'll start to see all the different things. But look out for the new experience of the Fearless Warrior Network coming very, very, very soon. Be taking the time. Be taking the time and don't be surprised. Well, let me tell you something, eh? If there's one thing I know, is that my political leader is not weak. She have more, how we go say, she have more fortitude than half of them women and men in the UNC. And don't get tired with the silence. Listen, she's silent than Kamala Prasad Bissessa. People, I will take my departure time. I have to jump on my plane and I have to go to my bed because I have another engagement to go to tomorrow. So look out beyond the ground and you'll hear more from us this Sunday with Melba and Fearless. So book your spot, because trust me, I will beg she, I will beg, I will beg Melba, not of us, but you know how it is. So, oh, and they could go and they could take in the Slimmy show. He's coming up. He's coming up right next. So you can take in the Slimmy show on his network. Have a blessed night and see you all on Sunday.